All right, what's up, guys? So in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about a concept I was talking to a client, a student of mine this morning, and it's about faith and it's about courage specifically. It's about courage. So he's asking me, how am I so courageous? Why I take those steps that seem like risky and all that, and I move towards somewhere where I don't know nobody, I don't have a job, I don't have work, I don't even have a place where to stay, but I just move because I decided to go there and I'm gonna figure it out. So I told him, it's all we work on, all the stuff we work on. We work on developing the intrinsic self confidence because a person follows a certain program, certain program that is specific to him, okay, that would help him develop confidence, start achieving some goals, even if it's like getting in shape, even if it's like developing the skill, starting to build his business, discipline, waking up, for example, same time during the year, doing something during 1 year, not missing one thing, stuff like that. That builds confidence, that builds discipline first of all, then builds after that confidence, and hence build that intrinsic self-value and self-confidence. Okay, this is self-work. Okay, this is work that the person does on himself. Includes obviously studying, understanding certain concepts, like working on yourself. Okay. Then the other part is that knowledge, awareness. Awareness is light. Like when a person becomes aware by studying and understands the laws that govern this universe, understand that if he puts an idea in his mind and he fixates on the idea and he lives it with his emotion and starts acting on it like if it was a reality, sooner or later he becomes a vibrational match that idea or that goal that he has, and hence he will start attracting things to him that will help him reach that goal. Okay, we understand. We go to the deeply to the laws and we explain all this in the coaching calls. So the person slowly, with this type of understanding, with the work he puts in himself, and by being around me as well, he starts understanding, believing in these kind of things, especially when he starts getting some results. Okay, and but there is a component that I don't really talk about because it's different for everybody, But I had to tell him, but I had to make it clear because I told him I have this confidence, I am this confident, I am this fearless, is because I believe in God. Okay. So now we understand why I don't talk about this subject a lot, because I'm a Muslim man, I'm a Muslim, and when I talk, a lot of my students are not Muslim, they're like from different backgrounds, different religions, whatever. For me, it's all the same. But when I I was worried, or I'm like concerned that if I talk about this a lot with people, they might think that I'm trying to impose my views, my religious views on them. Okay, and that's not true. So that's why I kind of like don't go deep into the subject. But I told him, hey, bro, listen, straight up, I'm a firm believer in God and the creator of everything. Okay, I've studied theology. I understand that God exists and that God is everywhere and there's infinite intelligence, and all these laws that we are studying, we are using, everything that you see that moves here is under the rule of God. So I have a connection with God. I connect with God. I wake up every day before sunrise to pray, and I sit down, meditate, talk to God. Okay, I have created a relationship with God. There is a verse in the Quran that says that God is closer to us than our regular vein. Like so close to you, so close that it's unreal. So if God is so close to us, it would be weird if I can't communicate with God. It would be weird that if I don't have a relationship with God. It don't make sense. So I have created a relationship with God. I wake up and I meditate and I ask God for guidance, and I ask God to give me wisdom and to give me, and to give me guidance and to keep me strong, and I've studied, obviously I've studied personal development, psychology, all that, but and the laws that govern the universe, and I've tried them into my life and they give me some results. But at the same time, in theology, you find evidence of these laws in the scripture, in the different scriptures. You find these laws, you find them. But people are blind; they can't see them. Because they think that, I don't know, they have different views about religion. But religion is like, or at least not religion, the scripture is a text that brings a lot of information. Could have information about scientific information, scientific proof. It could have philosophical proof, philosophical evidence. It could have all sorts of information that brings value to the person's life. If your eyes are open, you're aware enough to see it. So I found evidence that these laws that I've learned from my mentors exist. They are the laws of that God has put on this planet. They're not random. This is God has put these laws on the planet, and they're there in the scripture. Okay, it talks all the time about faith, about how if you have faith, you can move a mountain. You can say to the mountain, move, and it will move. You know, do you know what I mean? That's in the Bible, for example. In the Quran, there is evidence like that in the Torah as well. So when you create, and I told them, when you create a relationship with God, this is when you really become fearless. This is when you stop giving a shit about what anybody thinks about you. This is when you move to another country, to another city, and you have zero fear, even if you have no money, even if you don't have a job. Excuse me if you hear a lot of noise. I'm in the port. I'm having a cappuccino in the port, and people are just, it's noisy, you know, for whatever reason. Guys think that a good strategy to pick up girls is to pass by the cars and make a noise when the girls are passing. They think that's a good strategy to attract girls. It's stupid, you know. Just you want to talk to somebody, just park your freaking car and go down and say hi to the girl if you want to talk to her. Don't be a marshmallow, okay? Just making noise, bro. Unreal. Anyways, so what I was saying is, there is evidence in the scripture that proves that these laws that we use are preset by God. Okay, this is the laws of God. So God is above everything. So why don't you just create a relationship with the big boss? That's what I've did in my life. I've created a relationship with God. You know, I wake up every day and I sit down and I talk to God. Before sunrise, I pray and I talk to God and I ask God for wisdom and for guidance. So there is a certain feeling of calmness, of faith, of strength that comes to you only when God blesses you with that feeling. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm facing a situation, or I'm facing a person or an enemy or whatever, I do not rely on my strength. I do not rely on the 3D, even though I'm a strong person. Okay, and okay, say I have some skills, have some talents. I speak 4 languages. You know, I'm not a dumb person. Like, I have a certain level of intelligence. I can figure things out. You know, but still, I don't rely on whatever I have, because I could have very little resources in the face of whatever I need to handle, you know. But so my faith, my strength does not come from the resources I see in the 3D world. It comes from my connection to God. My connection to God, that faith, that's my biggest resource. That's what really makes me unstoppable. That's what really makes me fearless, you know. Straight up. That's what I told him. You know, you need to figure out for yourself. You know, everybody's different. Like, I don't know what is your belief, but God exists. And just to clarify something, all monotheistic religions, all religions, the main religions, not all religions, sorry, the main religions, which is like Islam, Christianity, Judaism. If you study the scripture, you will understand that there is one power. There is one source. One. It's not a man. It's not a guy. It's not a bunch of guys. It's not some statue. It's not somebody in the sky. It's infinite intelligence. Okay, it's God. So it's the same for everybody. But this is what I'm trying to say. It's the same for everyone. I think mosquitoes are starting to show up now. It's almost summer here. Yeah, no. So God is one, okay? For all of us. Like, it's not I have one God, then you guys have another God, and somebody else have a different God. Like, you're tripping, straight up. There's only one God, one source, okay? And if there was 2 gods, the world would be in chaos. Think about that. Think about that. the world will be in chaos. Because if God is all powerful, imagine if one God decides to do this and then the other guy decides to do that. The world will be in chaos. Do you understand? One God sets a certain rules, certain laws, and the other God sets a different rules and laws, and there will be chaos. Okay, there's one source. So, so connect. When you create that connection with God, there is an inner feeling of peace, of serenity that comes to you, that you know that these laws that you're working with are backed up by God itself, by God Himself, and it's just and you just become like, I don't know, it's just you're just chilling, bro. You give up. You give up the worries. Like you stop trying to hold all the weight on your shoulders. You think I have to figure out everything. No, God got you, bro. Believe in God. Believe in do the right thing. Like set the idea in your head. Imagine your business. Imagine yourself already having the clients you want. Stay in that vibration. Okay? Stop looking at the 3D reality and tripping about it. Forget about it. You're gonna find solution. Your clients are waiting for you. Your opportunity is waiting for you. Okay? Your spouse is waiting for you. Everything that you need is waiting for you. Just here. Be connected. Be in the same vibrational. Be a vibrational match. Keep that during the whole day and move confidently. Move like the person that is sure that he's gonna get it. When I came here to Marbella, I packed my shit, took my bag, I rented a room. It was 500 euros. I sent the guy 500 euros on the phone. Told him, hey, keep the room for me. I'm coming. I don't know nobody. I don't have work. I don't have nothing. One guy, one of my coaches was here. It was a Muay Thai coach. It was a guy that I respected, and I wanted to join with him. I said, you know what? He's in Marbella. Let's go. I like the beach. Fantastic, sunny. That's what I like. Let's go. I don't know nothing. I don't know nobody. Marbella was small. It was empty during winter. There was no work, nothing. You know, Marbella used to get busy just in summer. You know, it's much different now. There's a lot more people now, and it's full the whole year. So probably there's better opportunities. But back in the day, there was nothing during winter. All the shops are closed. Everything is closed. There's nobody here. You know. So I came and I said, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll figure it out. And I came here. People told me, you know what? Marbella in winter, it's not the place to be. You're not gonna find a job. You're not gonna find this. And tell me, shut up. Don't teach me. I ask nobody's advice. Okay? Back in the day, I was reading Think and Grow Rich. I was reading The Science of Getting Rich. I was reading As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I was into these books. You know, I was studying other coaches from all over the world, Arabic world as well. And I was positive and I was focused and I found work and I found a job here. Then was a marketing company. I became sales manager at that marketing company. Then I became a general manager at that marketing company. Then I started making money. I was supporting my family back in Morocco. I bought a car. We opened branches. One in Portugal. We were thinking to open in Morocco. Like, who would thought that I was gonna become a manager of this company when I came here? I had nothing. I had zero. I had very little money. But I had awareness. I knew that if I come here, if my intuition calls me to come here, and I'm courageous enough and I follow the rules of God, I will figure it out. And I figured it out. And today I have, you know, I'm still operating the same way. Today I made my life here. I live with my passion. I take the clients that I want to take, people that I like to work with. I have a phenomenal relationship with my wife. I'm healthy, I'm strong, talented, you know, I'm happy, bro. You know, and it's only getting better. It's just the start for me. And yeah, and it all started from taking courageous moves, bro. Courageous moves, you know. But that's why you require faith. You need to have faith. So have faith, guys. Build a relationship with God. Have faith and move on. Follow me on IG. I share stories every day. You have my WhatsApp here under the description. If you're interested in my coaching, you can ask me, talk to me, and I will see if I can help you with your specific case to build a character, to build a version of yourself that is unshakable, unbreakable, that has a mental software that does not know how to give up, okay? A mental software that will help you reach your goals, build your business, you know, live from your passion like what I did, you know, create a business based on your passion like what I did. I started coaching people. I started coaching people kickboxing and Muay Thai. Then I expanded to boxing. Then I started helping people with the fitness. then I realized that people are like, they're not strong enough to follow the instructions. They have mental weakness. So I started helping them with the mindset, because I've been working on my mindset for years. Because I came from Morocco, third world country, bro. I came from a mindset of poverty, of lack, limitation, fear. You understand? I had to work years on myself to change that in me. So I knew how to change the mindset of somebody else. You know what I mean? So I was starting helping them with that. They started helping people with the relationship. I figured out that everybody, you guys, all of you are like scared. You're driving Ferraris. You don't have balls to just get out of the car and say hi to some girl. You have to show up. But bro, everybody's like needs help. You know what I mean? Everybody needs help with that. So I started helping people with all sorts of things. And today I help people also to develop their businesses, to get clients, high-paying clients, to build a premium service and sell it with a premium price. You know, build a business, live from your passion based on your skills. All right. So if you need help with that, DM me on the WhatsApp, and I'll get back to you guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace. I'm gonna finish my cappuccino. Bye bye.